everyone, I'm attorney Aiden Durham with 180 Law Co. in Colorado, and you are watching All Up in Your Business. On this episode of All Up in Your Business, I'm busting up some common myths about trademarks and trademark registration. But first, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and check the description for additional information and resources. I would also like to thank our special partners for this episode, our friends at Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN or virtual private network that goes above and beyond what you would normally expect from a typical VPN. I'm sure you've heard me talk about VPNs in the past and how important it is, especially for business owners, to keep our data and online activity private and secure. But aside from encrypting our personal information to shield our online presence, which of course Surfshark does, it has the added perk of helping us get better prices when we're shopping online. You may not realize it, but many online retailers have different prices depending on where the shopper is located. With Surfshark, you can access those websites from different servers in different countries to avoid price discrimination and make sure you're getting the best price in the entire world. This is going to be especially helpful right now as we are approaching the holiday season, and seeing as how we're still, in a pandemic, we'll be doing a lot more online shopping than we normally do. But you can also use Surfshark to expand your entertainment library. I don't know about y'all, but I have effectively watched everything there is to watch on Netflix. But with Surfshark, I can access Netflix and these other streaming platforms through other countries' servers and open up a whole new world of shows and movies that are not available to us in the US. Surfshark has an amazing deal going on this year for Black Friday. Through Friday, November 27, 2020, visit surfshark.deals/AUIYB and use the promo code AUIYB to save 84% and get 4 months free with Surfshark VPN. Now, if you're watching this after Black Friday, don't worry, you can still use this link to get 3 free months with Surfshark. Surfshark has a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee, so there is really no reason to wait. Again, visit surfshark.deals/AUIYB and use the promo code AUIYB as in all up in your business to save 84% and get 4 months free with Surfshark VPN. Okay, now let's start busting some common trademark myths. The first very common myth or misconception when it comes to trademarks is that trademarks and copyrights are the same thing. This is false. Super, super false. Trademarks are things like words, phrases, symbols, designs that are used by businesses. Copyrights protect creative works such as songs, books, and artwork. While there can be some overlap between the two, copyrights and trademarks are very much not the same thing. Trademark myth number 2 is that you should wait to register your trademark until your business grows and gets successful. This one is definitely false. It is possible and can certainly be beneficial to start the trademark registration process early before you've even launched your business. Doing so will, number 1, help to make sure the trademark's actually available for you to use, and number 2, avoid having to potentially go through an expensive and time-consuming rebrand if a trademark issue comes up later on. The third trademark myth is that you need an attorney to get a registered trademark. This one is mostly false, but it is actually true in some situations. Due to a recent rule change with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, you do actually need a lawyer if you're not domiciled in the US. But aside from that, applicants in the United States can register a trademark without a lawyer. However, even though you can do it, doesn't necessarily mean you should. Having an attorney help you with the trademark registration process can significantly improve your chances of getting the trademark approved. Most trademark attorneys, myself included, will do a thorough trademark search beforehand and will be able to strategize the best way to go about it to increase the odds of registration. Check the description for information on my all-inclusive trademark registration package if you're looking for help with your trademark. Myth number 4 is that your trademark should describe what you do or what you sell. This is a biggie. In the marketing world, we're often encouraged to use descriptive terms or phrases in our business names. The idea is that we want our consumers to know what we do or what we sell. If my dog Rocky wants to start a business selling dog beds, a name like Rocky's Dog Beds will let consumers know Rocky sells dog beds. But in the trademark world, names like this suck. We refer to them as merely descriptive trademarks because they merely describe the goods being sold. In this case, Rocky's Dog Beds. And trademarks that are merely descriptive are not usually eligible for trademark registration, though there are some exceptions. But ultimately, it is better to be creative and try to avoid merely descriptive trademarks. Trademark myth number 5 is that once you have a registered trademark, nobody else will be able to use that same trademark. While it is correct that trademark registration gives you exclusive rights to use your trademark, those rights are typically limited to the goods and services that you sell. So it is still possible for 2 identical trademarks to coexist. In fact, not only is it possible, it's actually pretty common. That's why we can have things like Delta Airlines, Delta Faucets, and Delta Dental, or Dove Soap and Dove Chocolate, or Domino's Pizza and Domino's Sugar. Even though these are all in the trademark world essentially identical, they can coexist because they're used for completely unrelated goods and services. Trademark myth number 6 is that registering a domain name or registering an LLC or business name will help secure your trademark rights. This is very much false. Registering a domain name does absolutely nothing with regard to trademark rights. Same with registering an LLC or DBA. The primary benefit is that no one else can register that exact domain or that exact business name. But trademark ownership and trademark rights only come from actually using the trademark in commerce in connection with the sale of goods or services. Myth number 7 is that the little R, TM, and SM symbols can be used interchangeably. False. That little R and a circle symbol designates a federally registered trademark, and it can only be used when the owner has a federal trademark registration. You're not permitted to use that symbol with a state trademark registration or a pending federal registration. The TM and SM symbols, on the other hand, indicate common law trademark rights and can be used with unregistered or registered trademarks. You can, and usually you should, use TM or SM with your trademark until it's registered with the USPTO. TM stands for trademark and SM stands for service mark. We'll typically use SM when the business provides a service, but you really can just use TM regardless of whether it's a good or a service. They're essentially the same thing. And finally, our number 8 trademark myth is that trademark applications are easy to file and registrations are easy to get. This one could not be more false. After filing the trademark application, the application is going to be assigned to an examining attorney who will review the application to make sure it's been completed properly, that the trademark's eligible for registration, and that it won't conflict with an existing trademark. The process, timing, and really the work involved will be different for each application, and the majority of trademark applications will receive a refusal or objection in one form or another. And often this requires extensive legal research and writing to overcome those issues. At a bare minimum, the trademark registration process is going to take around 8 to 9 months, start to finish. But commonly, it's going to take closer to a year, and it could very easily take multiple years. While the trademark application may look easy and straightforward on its face, the trademark registration process is actually anything but easy. That's why it's always a good idea to work with an experienced trademark attorney if you are trying to secure a trademark for your business. This is not something that you want to try to tackle alone. Trust me. That's all for this episode, folks. Drop a comment below, let me know what you think, and don't forget to check the description for additional information and resources. If you want help with your trademark, I've got my signature all-inclusive trademark registration package, Brand Bombshell. And for those of you who prefer the DIY route, check out Brandish, my on-demand course that will teach you step-by-step how to prepare for, complete, and submit a trademark application without a lawyer. You can find all those details down in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Aiden Durham, and I'll see you next time.